Welcome to another episode where someone might become an ex
Oh,
of.
RyCanTopMyKnee.
Oh man.
รายการต่อไปนี้
Well, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jonathan. And we are a boys love podcast that talks about our favorite shows and all the press and mess around them.
Yes, we do. And Jonathan, talking about mess, would you get back with an ex? Let's say if you weren't with Steven, because you've been with Steven for a long time and y'all
I
gonna be
mean, I
together for
can.
a longer time, but
I mean, the thing is, Steven was the ex. Yes, I have. Yes.
ooh, oh yeah, I knew this. I'm
One and
more of
only.
like you
Yes.
just went
So
ahead and
I
said
have
it.
done
So
this.
so
This
you
show was
have
about
done
me.
it. It's about you. So and would I get back with either of my exes? Well, one of them I haven't heard from in years, so probably not. The
Oh,
other
hey, that's not
one,
stopping anything.
right.
It's
I
time to
mean, he
rekindle.
also lives, actually both of my exes reside in different countries than the one I'm in now. But
Because her
one of
poetry went
them, since I haven't
across
heard from
worlds.
him in ages, and the other one, since I heard from him just a few days ago, and that was not a pleasant conversation.
Hmm.
Um, Probably not. But you never know.
Hey, you
People
never
people
know.
grow and change, but it's not something I desire. And as people know, I have a husband that's not my husband, and I'm very happy with that.
We
So
need a tally for how many times you bring this man up, y'all. Oh my
he counting
god.
himself too. And
Ooh.
I talk to almost daily. So there you go.
One of these days we gonna drop the couple pic, y'all. We gonna drop it on the Insta. You'll see. You'll see.
And people who follow my personal Insta and know me out in real life, like Jonathan does, because Jonathan and I actually are real life friends.
Oh my god. Are we though? Nah, we fake. We
No,
do it
we
for the
fake.
pod.
We
We do
only
it for
do
the
it for
pod.
the pod. Uh, but they know who this person is. And this
Hmm.
person also happens to listen to the podcast.
He is not listening to this. He's
He
not listening
does.
to us talk about men all day
He
long.
listens to some episodes. He's listened to some because I've asked him to, and he
Hmm.
says he enjoys it. And he listens to the ones where we talk about him, and he knows it's him.
And if he was a Nets, would you get with him? Would you get back with him?
Well, that's a good question because you know what? I think he would get back with me. Let's just say that.
Oh, he wants you. He wants you.
Right.
He wants you bad. I mean, but
Yeah,
we'll
because
talk more about the It's Morning later, though.
yes, he will. But first, let's get to word on the tweet.
Low key, there wasn't much tea this week
It's
on
been
word
a
on the
slow
tweet.
week. It's been a slow week in general.
Yeah, it's been a slow week. Everyone's been kind of, I don't know. No one's been messy this week, I guess, or there has been some mess.
Mm.
I mean, it was S' birthday last
Oh, happy
weekend.
birthday,
I know,
S.
happy birthday. He's 24 now.
Yes.
That was at for Love Out Loud, I think. He
Mm-hmm.
turned like around that time. And him and did like a birthday photo shoot.
Who was him?
William and S.
Okay.
William,
I
who
wanted
did
to
I
make
say?
sure.
Who did I say?
Okay, you just said him and S. You didn't
Oh,
say
him
who
and
the
S.
him
Yes,
was.
William and S did a birthday photo shoot for S where they recreated the red, white, and royal blue like messy cake scene.
Mm.
So they were like rolling around in this cake, living their little jolly gay lives.
Mm.
Did you see it?
I saw the pictures. I never
Did you
saw the
take a
show,
lick?
but I knew the reference.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen the movie? I
No,
think it's on Amazon Prime.
it is on Amazon Prime. I know of it. A lot of people talked about it, and then I was too
Hmm.
busy with my BLs to watch it. So here we are.
Yeah, it's like the once in a blue moon America does like a anything
BL. Yeah, because
kind
I
of
think
BLE,
that's
kind of
that's
query, kind
more
of.
BL than. like, oh, gay LGBTQ series kind of
Well,
show.
yeah, it's a movie adaptation of a book series, and
Hmm.
the book is really good, and the movie was okay, but it has like a cult following.
Yes, it
Um,
does.
but yeah, a lot of people are already like after seeing these photos, they want them to do a Thai like remake of this movie using
No,
William and S. Oh, cool, cool,
no.
cool.
I mean, and I love William and S. Like,
No, you can't see it. William
I'm
being like a
still not
quarter
over.
American.
I'm still not over them in Tame Po, and I love them in Tame Po. Love, love, love them.
Love Tempo. We
And you
love
know what?
Tempo.
Certain things don't need to be remade. Let's just say that.
I mean, honestly, truly, honestly,
Yeah.
honestly,
So.
truly. But yeah. Speaking of messy, messy cake.
Oh, was someone eating cake? And I'm not talking about the kind you get from a bakery.
Hey, maybe. Did you see
Oh,
those sultry, sexy thirst traps that Joong has been posting lately?
I noticed he was. Like, there's him on a bed with the nipples out.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a few others that I saw. And I was like, oh.
He's showing off his new pants, and it's just like
mm.
all topless
Yeah,
crotch.
he's just, yeah, crotching. And I'm surprised the pants aren't sagging. So we see the crest of his booty.
Oof.
We're not seeing,
Hey.
yeah, I'm a little surprised, that we hasn't gone that far.
No, who said he wants to show booty? He's showing schmeat. He's trying to show
Yeah,
schmeat.
I'm still waiting to see the print in the pants.
Oh my god! If Joong ever hears us talk like this,
He should hear us. He
when we see
should.
him when he comes to New York, he's gonna punch us. He's
He
gonna
won't
slap us.
punch this. He might hug this, but he's not gonna punch this.
He's gonna take a photo with me. I can't wait. But
I
yeah,
know he
Joong.
is. Anyway.
Yeah. Apparently, he went on a little Korea trip with his friends,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone was like, "Oh, who's this new man he has in this photo? Like, is this a new
Mm.
boyfriend?" I mean, people have all these speculations, just like
Right.
how we were talking about him being with Est before. So, like, I don't know, are all these photos to make Est jealous? Is he jealous? Is he being messy?
Full disclaimer, y'all. This is
This is
us being
alleged.
delusional. We're being delusional.
Supposed to be
Okay.
messy as hell, spreading
We are messy. We don't
misinformation.
know if this is true or not,
These
but
men
this is
are.
based.
We
This is
don't know
what the
anything about
fans are
these men.
saying.
Yeah,
Right.
this is
We
just
don't know.
what Twitter is saying, y'all. Like,
Right.
this is not our own opinions, or
Right.
is it? Um, yeah. So I don't know. He could be, dotting it up in Korea right now with the new man.
He may
Um,
be. Or with
but
several men.
or several men. He might have gone to like some gay clubs in Korea too, but I don't know. All
So that
allegedly. All
means he was going
allegedly.
around Itaewon and Jungno,
Mm-hmm.
getting that won and that no. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
hey. Um,
But anyway, what else has been happening?
but anyway, yeah, not much is happening, but there was a T-pop concert that happened
Mm.
on Saturday or Sunday.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It's called like Gacha Pop 3.
Okay.
It was kind of like a T-pop festival. It had a bunch of groups like Lycan, Proxy,
Mm.
Dice, Bus, Purses, Dow Off-Road, Pit
Oh,
City.
so Dow Off Road was there to do like a little duet?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, or solo and stuff too. They do,
Oh, there's solo stuff, but
their
also
solo
duet.
songs.
Ooh, speaking of which,
And
did you
Jailboys was there.
Ooh, wait. So I was gonna say this. Did you see? I didn't realize this, but for the next Prince, Dawu is singing the OST,
Yes, one
which
of the
I didn't realize.
OSTs.
And
You didn't
he
recognize his
and Nunu,
voice?
I was not paying attention to it that much. Like,
Ooh.
no shade to Dawu because he has a great voice.
It's
No
so
shade.
recognizable though. So
Right, but
recognizable.
I was like not really paying attention to it. However, I heard him and Nunu harmonize
Mm,
and I was
beautiful,
like,
beautiful.
this is beautiful. And this was like, a cappella and all of that. I would love to see them do a concert together. That would be pretty cool. But let's see what happens.
I mean,
I,
maybe
because I have a
maybe
feeling Z would not like that.
I can't. No, Z would
Or
be
he
all
would
for it.
pretend he doesn't like it.
He'd be all for it. I feel like Nunu's the more possessive one, but
You think so? I think, yeah, you know what? Maybe I could see that because Z just acts like an idiot.
oh my
So,
god. He's
yeah.
in love. I mean, I love the Nets Prince, but yeah,
Yes.
this concert was I'm like back to this concert. Yeah, this concert
Right.
was pretty cool. Lycan was doing like covers. People saw them
Mm.
doing like they did a cover of like of some K-pop songs.
Mm-hmm.
It looked really fun, and I wish I got to see Joe Boys perform live.
Wow. Wow. It sounds like it was all, that sounds like it was a lot of fun. Sounds like it was pretty good. Sounds like it hit.
I
Guess
know it
what
don't
else
hit for
hit?
you.
It hit for somebody, but guess what did hit for me this week?
What did?
Our shows of the week.
Hey, come on, transition.
So, Jonathan, what is your show this week?
I mean, honestly, would I call this my show of the week?
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I'm already. I know. I'm already dragging you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But Mission to the Moon is my show of the
Uh-uh.
week. And
That's out of this
Kevin,
world. Out of this world.
oh, the script is out of this world.
Out
The
of this
production
world.
value is out of this world. Um, this show is low key bad, yo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to root for Pac and Mon. Like I love Pac. I've been following him since
Lord.
Love Area. Like I loved him in Love
Mm-hmm.
Area.
Yes.
This show, I don't know. Maybe this show was just like a little something to get their feet wet as a couple again before their main show that's coming out later
Child,
this
their feet
year.
were dry. They
Oh,
were dry.
the pockets were dry for
It was
this show. The
dry.
budget was dry. This
um,
show is so bad.
it's okay. I want to make a correction because I said this a couple episodes
We're
back
not
about Mission
hating.
to
We're
the
not hating.
Moon, and it's fine. No, and actually I am hating, but I want to point this out. So, but because I like to make sure I say state facts as much as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, a couple weeks ago, I said that in order to watch the show, you had to become a member to their YouTube channel, which is actually not entirely true.
You
If you
could,
want to
yeah.
watch, if you become a member, you can watch all three episodes that are released that week at the same time. Like they release the show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If it's free, you have to watch it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you pay the $8.99 membership, then you get to watch all three episodes on Tuesday. So I
All
want to make
three
sure
quote
yeah,
unquote episodes, which are like 8 minute long
8 minutes
episodes.
long.
So
So
like you
pretty
get a
much
full episode if you all at once if you
right.
pay for it.
And honestly, it is still not worth it.
It's still not
Like
worth
it
it.
is I am appalled. And actually I'm low key offended
Every
that they
episode
would
starts and
think
ends with like
with barely
with
anything.
barely
You,
anything, and it like
yeah,
repeats what you just saw, too.
right.
So like,
And I think why I'm offended is because they think we are dumb enough for
to
me to pay $8.99 a membership
see
again,
what?
which to see that when we're paying $8.99 for standard VIP on iQIYI, we're paying what $6.99, $7.99 for Gaga Ulala,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and we're paying what with commercials for Netflix $7.99 for Peacock, you're paying $6.99 with commercials. So all of these streaming services for the same price give us thousands of shows to watch.
Well, this is
And they
giving me thousands of
barely a
reasons to
show.
close
Yeah,
my eyes.
right. Barely a show for
Barely a
$8.99.
show. Like,
I am
what is the
offended.
plot, Kevin? What is the plot?
There is no plot. I am offended. Only thing I like is that these guys look great, and that's kind of where it stops. But if I want to
Mm-hmm.
see good looking guys, I could see them for free 99.
Period. Period.
Okay? And I can't. I can't. They really
I
whoever thought
know.
that
I
was a
feel
good
bad because
idea,
it's not their fault. It's
I
really not their
don't.
fault. It's
It's
production.
not yeah, it's not the couple's fault because they didn't do anything wrong. It's yeah, it's production. It's the same thing like with Boom Prem. I love them as a ship and I'm rooting for them to get a good show. But so far, the shows that they've been leading, they've all been trash. And it's not their fault.
I mean, yeah,
It is
Between
not
Us
their fault.
started off well and then just turned
It was
sour
stupid.
to me.
And then
Yeah.
Even Sun was worse. It should
Even
have been
Son, I
called.
still haven't watched it.
You don't need to watch it. Trust me.
No,
It's going to
I
be a
want to see
waste of
his
time.
orange hair.
And that's the only thing you would want to see.
Ugh.
That and Boom. Because he looked great in that show. But that's it. Like, it's a dumb show. It was done horribly, and it pissed me off.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I was so mad, and I was mad for them because I was
This
like,
episode is just gonna be us mad as fuck. The
right,
podcast episode. Mad
like,
as
oh
fuck.
gosh. But I
Yeah.
can't stand it when production companies do this to ships that have a lot of promise and are actually pretty
They have
good.
like they're starting to get a following after Two Worlds.
Yes,
Like they're still
yes.
on fan meet. I think they just had a fan on like an extra fan meet tour date for Two Worlds where they were there.
Mm-hmm.
They're like booked as like the big side couple for that show.
Yeah, because they were great. And then you give them,
And then you give
I don't
them
know,
this? What's happening?
you give them, half price Dunkin' Donuts. That's what you gave
Not
them.
Dunkin'
Like, that
Donuts.
is so horrible. Like, I'm just so irritated when they
Ugh.
should be getting, they should be getting high class kind of stuff. And instead they got something that even low class
Ooh,
toenail kind
ooh.
of, it's
Not
it's
toenail.
horrible.
Y'all, we going in. We going in. All right. Let's
Yeah.
switch
Anyway,
topics, switch roads. Let's talk about your show of the week.
a much better show. And my
Mm.
show this week is My Sweetheart Joan. It has Saints. And, we
Saints
haven't.
come back.
It's Saints come back, and we love Saint. And Saint went from twink to twunk, in my opinion. Like, he's meaty. And there's just something that I find so attractive about him in the
Mm.
show, and I don't know what it is. Like,
He went from power bottom to top to
yeah, I
chief
don't know.
top.
Chief, yes, Chief Meat. Okay.
Chief me,
Chief
y'all.
Meat. So I would say now there were a couple things about the show that you and I talked about earlier with that animation for the
Just as a graphic
intro.
designer, I was like, what is I like I don't know.
It was a little crunch,
The opening, yeah, the opening sequence is really, really crunch. Or maybe
Yeah,
they thought they were doing something with this style of like 2D animation, but it looked really just, it took me out compared
yeah.
to like The Sign, where we got like
Mm-hmm.
such high production. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. That was my first impression of this show was, oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah,
Saint.
yeah. But I like the show overall.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things going on after that. And also Mr. Crazy Eyes from the Bangkok Boys
I
also
know, he's
plays
in the show
another Crazy
too.
Eyes
He
in the
double
show.
dipping.
He double dipping and playing the same kind of crazy character with crazy eyes. And I if I see him in the street, I'm actually gonna think he's a bad person. I'm gonna run away and I'm calling the
Honestly,
police.
he give
Calling
red
the police.
flag.
Giving red flag all over the place. So
But
this show, I
yeah,
think,
give us a synopsis of the show.
pretty much there's this bad boy named Yo. Like,
Hmm.
he got into some trouble.
And this guy
And
was in. He was also in The Sign. He was that
yes,
like third couple in The Sign, right? Or that,
yes,
which is crazy that Saint just kind of swooped in and said, "Thank you. I'm stealing this little twink. Thank
yes,
you."
yes. So Yo is this kid. Actually, he's really kind of a super senior in high school because
Oh,
he got
super
kicked out of
senior.
he got kicked out of school, and there's a reason why. If you see the show, you will know why. And he's been so problematic to his parents that they said, "Okay, we're sending you out of Bangkok, and we're going to send you to our family friends village where you can go back to school and you can learn to be a better person because you're a trash person." Additionally,
He's spoiled brat. He's a spoiled
he's a
brat.
spoiled brat. And on top of that, um, because of something that he did in Bangkok, he's actually being chased by a mafia group, right?
Why every
So
show got a
there's a
mafia
lot there's
group
a
after?
lot going
Yeah,
on.
I just came back
And
from Thailand. There was no mafia group after me. I'm sorry.
there sure wasn't, because see, look, you only get into that if if you're looking for mafia, you will find them. But if you're going there looking for BL boys, you will find them.
Very
So,
that, very that.
so pretty much he has to stay here for his safety and also to get his life in order because he's been reckless, and Chief Joong, played by Saint, is a family friend and is trying to help him get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say he's an annoying brat. Okay, he's very annoying. Yo is getting on my last nerves. And he's finally and I watched episode 2 and he's finally beginning to learn a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um the show feels a little different because we've seen this dynamic before where you
Yeah, is
have
this
like
Tales of a Thousand Stars? Is this Lost in the
right.
Woods? Kind of
It's
like
it's
a
feels like it's
return
in
to
that
nature.
family,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a little different as well, because I don't think Mix's character was running from the mafia, but he
No, but he
was
was a
there.
spoiled brat at
He
first.
was
He was like
also
a rich
spoiled
spoiled
brat.
brat. Yeah.
And then similar with Lost in the Woods, we know that FIFA was also a spoiled brat who needed to get down to earth. So we're seeing that same thing, but it's still different from those two shows as well. And
Mm-hmm.
also um Chief Jum is a little older, just like in the other ones, but not like there
He
was a
loong.
12-year. Yeah, it wasn't like in
It is like in the other ones. Lost in the Wood.
well, Lost in
That's
the
a
Woods, that was
loong.
a 12
And
year old
Chief
gap.
Poopa is a loong too.
Yeah, but he's not that much older. We're like maybe 4 or 5 years older. He's like a young chief. That's the thing that goes on is he's a young chief.
But this
And
one,
this and remember, Yo is a super senior. He should have graduated high school a few years ago because his friends, he's the same age as them, and they're in college,
oh, I see,
and
I
he's
see, I
not
see.
because he never finished high school. So yeah, so he's also there to finish his last year of high school so he can actually get to college and all of that. So anyway, I like the show so far. Definitely better than Mission to the Moon.
Mm.
Mission to the Moon, we might have to put on a rocket and send it to
Mission to
space.
the Moon. There was no plot. It was they were trying to do a
Yeah.
ghost story thing, and
And it's not, and instead it ghosted us.
it
That's what it did.
it ghosted my attention. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, but this show, at least My Sweetheart Jam, is great. You can go ahead.
Okay.
Actually, both of these shows you can watch on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Um, My Sweetheart Jam is from Idol Factory. Idol Factory has not disappointed us so far. So, except for with these graphics at the beginning of the for the for the opening theme, they kind of did a little bit. But beyond that, the story's good, and of course, the acting's great. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too worried that I'm not worried about the show. Mission to the Moon, however,
It's ending next week,
mission
so
aborted.
we shall
Mission
see.
aborted.
No, we'll see if it gets aborted or not. We'll see.
Yeah, it's
Maybe it'll
already
be really
there.
heartfelt at the end, and it'll just save everything. I don't know.
Lord willing. Anyway, um, we don't have any shows that ended, but we do have a new show that we did not talk about. So let's get to that. So, Jonathan, there's one new show, which is new-ish, as in it came out last week. It's called Eye Contact. It came out on May 14th, and it's available on Wednesdays on WeTV. I have
Mm.
not started this show, and
Me neither. It's kind of like went under the radar. It's a Thai show.
And you know what's so funny? I remember seeing a pilot for this maybe last year. And I was
Mm.
like, oh, it looks like it's another period piece. And I love my period shows. So I might start this one, but also I'm drowning. Like,
Drowning.
we have way too many shows. There's so many shows that I want to start, but I don't have the time.
There's no
And
bandwidth, y'all. No
there's
bandwidth in
there's
corporate terms.
Yes, and this is why we tried. You know what? We said this last week, and we'll say it again. Thailand needs to take a break. Y'all need to take a month off of making shows. Like we're good. We got more than enough content.
Give
Okay,
me a
y'all need.
break. Give me a
Yeah, give
break.
give us a break. Okay, and Japan, you need to make a show because y'all
And they
been on a
are
long
coming out with a
break.
show soon, but
Yes,
it's coming
I
out in
think
like
that's the one
July.
that's coming out. Oh, that's July. I thought it was June.
There's one coming
Okay.
out in June. There's one coming out in July. So
Okay.
stuff is coming
So
on the horizon, but it's still kind of far away.
yes. So, and then yeah, and then we still have the much anticipated Soulmate with Ok Taecyeon that's coming out in August, allegedly. So we'll see.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So,
Everything's alleged. Everything's alleged,
yes.
y'all.
Yes, but Eye Contact on WeTV, it is a period show. The actors in it, I'm trying to remember if I've seen them in something else before. They look familiar to me, but
Mm.
then I am not 100% sure. I actually think the guy that plays, yeah, see, I
Oh,
haven't
they were
seen him
in
before.
Gen Y. One of the main characters
Ah,
was from Gen Y. What's Up, Man?
maybe that's where
So
I was
what are
seeing.
are those Star Hunter shows? Right?
No,
Isn't What's Up,
WhatsApp
Man
man. I
Star
don't think
Hunter?
what's that? I don't think that was Star Hunter, but Gen Y, I
Oh.
think is Star Hunter.
Mm.
Yeah, I did see WhatsApp man because that has my, that has my baby boss in it. Boss so depending on who you talk to. But I I don't think this is a Star Hunter show. Let
Oh,
me double
this
check.
show, no, this show is not.
Yeah,
Eye
WhatsApp
Contact
man,
is
I didn't
not.
think it was. And Eye Contact I don't think is either. Um,
Um.
but anyway,
Anyway,
I would definitely I would give this show a shot. We'll see. It's 6 episodes. Maybe what I'll do is when it's done, I'll binge it. Maybe that's what I'll do. I don't know.
yeah,
Um,
give yourself some time. You don't need to
w-
add another show to your roster. We got like 7 at the moment, Kevin. Please.
we have more than seven. I think last time I counted, we're at 13.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Yeah, we're at least 13. And that's including the ones that we started a long time ago that are luckily many of them are
Mm-hmm.
ending soon.
And speaking of
So
the 13th that just came onto the roster, we can get to.
oh, yes, we can. We do have a little show review.
Or a premiere review.
A
Yeah.
premiere review. Yes, let's get into the X Morning. Okay, so KristSingto is back, Jonathan.
Woo!
Can you let the people know why this is important? And then we can talk about the first episode of the show. And this is before we get into the synopsis as well,
Mm-hmm.
because KristSingto has not been back, has been on hiatus for how long?
Yeah, I feel like since what, like
Since Sodas?
2019, 2020, or even, yeah, Sodas came out what, like 2016,
Yeah, so it's
2017.
been
It's
almost a
been,
decade.
yeah, they've been together for like a decade. It's kind of crazy, or I guess
And
on and off. Yeah,
right. And I know after Sodas or when Sodas was out, there was this big Chris did something stupid.
yeah,
So
there
I
were a
think we
lot
gotta
of
remind
drama, a
people
lot of
what
like,
he did.
oh, I mean, people love to bring this up online.
But we might as well.
I know. Yeah, Chris did have a little scandal moment. Um, where he was, I guess he was just really upset of people calling him gay online, or like shipping him with Singto online. So at first he would be like, I don't know, he was just really tired of it. So he'd be like, I'm not gay, I'm not gay. Um and everyone was like, whoa man, like you're in a gay ship, you're like, you're in a gay show, like this is a little inappropriate to be a
Yeah,
little
it came off
homophobic.
homophobic. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
he
gave off like, yeah, like I hate gay kind of vibes.
yeah, it
Did
was
it for the money
giving
kind of
he
vibes.
was giving type.
Yeah, it was, ooh, not types level, but yeah, it was a little untasteful,
Yeah.
distasteful.
It was definitely distasteful. And I think he
And so he
redeemed
had a hate
himself.
train. He had like a
Yeah.
little bit of a hate train for like a couple years.
Yes, and I think he redeemed himself, like because I give grace, and to a lot of people. There's certain people I don't, but most people I give them grace and at least give them a second chance and all of that. And I feel as if we got to remember. I think Chris is actually a really good actor. I
He
think
is, yeah, he is.
I think he did very well and Be My Favorite with Gawain,
Still
which
haven't seen it, still haven't seen it.
yeah, I
But
actually
I know
think it's a good show.
he's done a lot of straight shows since.
Yes, and I didn't watch any of those, but I did watch I did watch Be My Favorite, and I thought it
Uh-huh.
was a really good show. And I think a lot of people
Hmm.
were not interested in watching it because they were still bent on hating this man.
Or they
Like I
just
was
wanted Chris Sinto back, and they did not want to see him reshipped.
exactly. Yeah,
I mean, I
and
did not want. I was both. I was in both camps. I didn't want to see him in general, and I didn't want to see him reshipped.
yeah, and
But
honestly, he and Gawan had actually pretty good chemistry. I didn't think that ship was going to go beyond that show. I would say
Mm.
that. Like, but I thought they
Imagine
both
if it
did a great
was
job.
like what it should have been, and it was Mike and Chris. I cannot picture that, so I don't know. But I mean, but that whole scandal and that whole everything that happened, where Sinto left GMMTV to go
Yep.
like he wanted to start his own company, I think, or like kind of explore more acting activities.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like I don't know if it like flopped, but like he like decided to come back to GMMTV. It all kind of like filters back into like the plot of the show. Like it's very similar, their actual
Mm-hmm.
story.
And
Um,
it's and people are guesstimating that the show was written off of their experience.
yeah,
Which I see it, I
you can piece
feel
it
it.
together. Yeah, you can piece it together.
Yeah, which I think is a very creative way to take the show. So, speaking of which, what is the synopsis?
All right, the Ets Morning synopsis, y'all.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Not
Bloop, 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 bloop,
bloop bloop
bloop,
bloop. Not the. All right. uh, when broadcaster, I
Had a
don't know how to
pie.
pronounce his
Had a
name in the
pea.
show. Was that
Had
his
a
name in the
pea.
show?
Yeah, Pat a
No.
P. And that's why his
Okay.
nickname is P. But because he's older, they call him
Oh,
PP.
I see.
So,
Yeah, I was like, his name was P in the show. When
yes.
broadcaster P gets demoted following a public shaming, his ex, Tam Tawan, is given the job of helping him rebuild his reputation. Okay, very
Hmm.
short and simple.
Very short and simple, and
That gives
that's
us,
it.
yeah, the first episode, really.
And
Um,
honestly, is Singto coming back to help build Chris' reputation?
that's what I'm saying. This low key kind of ties into like Singto was kind of
Because people don't hate Singto,
people
you
don't hate
know.
Singto was going off being the big bottom that he is in all these other shows, right? We got like I mean he did Baker Boys, he did like Painted with Love, he
Mm-hmm.
did so many shows,
Yeah,
where he was kind of like I mean Baker Boys wasn't a BL, but he was kind of like
right.
this like he was living his bottom fantasy in all these other shows though, right?
Mm-hmm.
After the whole KristSingto of it all. Even the name KristSingto is kind of misleading because it should be, the BL formula of like the top is the first name,
Mm-hmm. Which
but
I'm very much against, but here we are.
it should just be whatever sounds better.
Exactly. Right.
And I think this like, I think they wanted it to be like G-Man pushed for KristSingto because I don't know, it sounded better. I think, or
Yeah.
I think they felt like Chris in real life was the guy that quote unquote took care of Singto more.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, this show actually it's looking like Chris is the quote unquote top in this show, right? Don't you
maybe.
think? This first episode, Singto
Or
was kind of
maybe,
giving baby boy vibes.
yeah, but also well, let's just say this. In the first episode, there were a lot of things that happened. I'm going to,
All right, let's break it down. These
and
two are
also, there's,
reporters on the scene.
and, they were in a relationship throughout college and they had a breakup, which we don't know what caused the breakup at this
Hmm.
point. So we know that's probably and hopefully might be something that's going to move the plot along, as in, we know they had a breakup that was not good.
It was a one sided breakup though. They
Yeah,
said the other person still doesn't know why they broke up.
exactly.
So,
And we're not sure who broke up with who.
hmm
So we're kind of guessing at this point. And I kind of hope that they do is they kind of, this is when I think breadcrumbing is acceptable.
when they
When,
breadcrumb the
yeah,
plot.
yeah, when they do is just give you little crumbs here and there. So then if you're
Hmm.
really paying attention, then you can see, like, oh, this is probably why they broke up, until we get the big reveal, maybe like episode 10, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm thinking they're probably gonna gag us and be like, it was actually uh Tawan that did it, right?
or maybe Um, you know what? This is what I'm thinking because we've seen this before in GMM TV. There's probably a third person that we have yet to be introduced to
A
that made
homewrecker?
it yes, that's a homewrecker, but it was misunderstood as a homewrecker
So it
and
was
then
like a
caused the
ghosting
other
situation happening.
yeah, because we've
Mm.
seen that before because I wouldn't be surprised if that's it and they just never had the conversation, but
We'll see, but
Or
it looks like they broke up before they got into the job though
or I think it
at the
was when
news
they
station.
just got into the job.
Yeah,
That's when they
cause
broke up because
yeah, cause they
something
talked
must have
about, oh, we're gonna
happened.
get the job and we're gonna get a house that looks right at this poster at this
Mm-hmm.
billboard, and like
Mm-hmm.
Loki only Chris's character is living that life, that
Right.
fantasy.
Yeah, I was wondering why was he living alone, and now
That's
we
a
see that they
fancy ass
broke up.
house.
Yeah, it is. And now we know in this first episode because of this whole mess that he kind of created because first of all, he didn't
He's a
necessarily create
spoiled
it.
ass, rude
Yeah,
ass man.
he's a overgrown baby. And when your ego is that inflated, he needed somebody to just pop it
Oh, they
like
were
right quick.
all. I feel like they were all low key like conspiring against him. Like that
They
whole
were wait
set.
Yeah, they were waiting for his downfall. They
They
because they were
were. They
so
were
tired of
plotting on
him.
it.
They were
Yeah.
so tired of him and his ego coming in there as if he owned the place.
He was only
And,
27, and he just has like a segment on a news channel, right?
yeah,
Like,
as a weather segment,
oh, Lord, an
doing the
entitled
most.
weatherman,
Very
please.
entitled. And I think, that got to his head. They needed to go ahead and give him a nice, good old dirty slap.
I mean, yeah,
And
Ooh
I
was
think they
there
left
to
that
give him a
camera
little.
running in order, like, I think they said, because remember, they said cut, right? And we are spoiling this first episode, but
We have to. It's a whole review. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but they did say, remember, they said cut, and he honestly thought they had cut the
They
camera.
all did. They all did.
They all did. Someone kept that running because they knew he was going to do something that was going to,
Sabotage.
he was going to show his whole hole to everybody, and he did.
I
And
mean, but do you
clearly,
think Oo's
it was
character?
undouched,
Oh
okay?
my God! You think Ooh who made a cameo here with Pod randomly, and Pod
Yes.
was something like a little gay assistant. I was like, okay, Queen, okay,
Yes.
Queen. But
Uh,
Ooh was like appeared, and he's like a regular like
he's one of the anchors for
yeah,
this
one of the
morning
anchors.
show. Yeah.
I mean, that question was low key like baiting. Like what are you
Yeah,
doing? He
he
was like
was.
rage baiting on
And
live
I think
TV.
he did that on intentionally.
I
He
was
was
like, is
trying
that
to
a
act all
joke?
innocent, but
I'd be
low
like,
key, I was
what does
like, that
that
sounds
mean?
shady. Yeah, it was
He was
shady.
like, if my mom's on the 30th floor, is it gonna rain? I was like, what? I'd be like,
Yeah, it was a shady,
is that
snarky
upper enough?
question. Right. And he knew what he was doing.
Or I feel like
Like,
he knew what he was doing. So he was
yeah.
like baiting out like a rage
Mm-hmm.
moment so they can catch on alive. I'm like, I'm clocking it now. I'm clocking it.
Right. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one who ended up leaving, was like, found a way to get the camera still rolling.
For
Wouldn't be
sure.
surprised. Wanted to sabotage him because he knew he was so hot tempered. Low key. Low key. Okay, I have a prediction. I could be completely wrong. What if the person that
Oh, he was
Tawan
the
was
third.
seen with, yes, what about if
Damn.
he was the third and it was misunderstood as something, sultry when really it wasn't? But I'm curious to see how the show pans itself out.
Me too. I'm really curious to see their dynamic because I know
Yeah.
this is such a. I feel already it feels like such a different dynamic from Sodas because
Oh
they're
yeah.
like I never got to finish Sodas 2 where they're
Mm-hmm.
actually like working in the field out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But this still feels like a complete 360 from what I've known from them.
And I just
Um,
love seeing a grown up show. I really do.
and
Um,
I love seeing
Especially considering
Singto again.
it's like so far GMMTV has only given us a few good shows this year.
The
Like
year just
Boys,
started. It's like
yeah.
we're like
And they
6
but
months
they've
into the
released a
year.
lot of show. They've released a lot of shows already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the only like Boys in Love is great.
Mm-hmm.
Um uh Golden Blood is not.
Ooh, hey, it's
Sweet Tooth Good Dentist is it's there. Um
mm,
let's see. I feel as if they get what were the other shows they came out with this year? Because I feel as if we had a show from GMMTV that had us seated this
oh,
year.
perfect 10 liners.
Perfect 10 liners surprisingly was really good.
I mean that took like 6 months to finish, but yeah, that was
Yeah,
that was really good.
it was really good. What else did they give us this year?
That's it.
Really?
Yeah, that was so long running.
I feel
Tempo
as if
ended like last year,
oh,
or
Tangpo was also no, that ended
Tempo
earlier
started
this
last
year.
year. Yeah, but it
Yeah,
was
and so
mostly
did
like a
Perfect
last
Temp
year show.
Minors. Yeah. Like both of those shows were pretty good. And then oh yeah, we forgot about Osan's Love.
I
But
mean, that was a remake. That was a remake.
and that was a
But
remake, you know.
yeah, this might be a really good show. I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm really, really hoping that this one has me seated like Tame Poe had me seated, where
Mm-hmm.
we were just so glued into that story because it was so good. And I'm really hoping that this show does it for us because I think if we're gonna have a comeback show, it should be really good.
I know, like they already kissed in this episode, like because we know that they've been together. So I just hope we get
hmm
messy. I hope gets just so messy.
I hope it turns into a Mariah Carey song. You know, we belong together.
Oh my god.
Okay, I could have gone all the
Copyright.
way.
Copyright.
Anywho, you know what? Speaking of KristSingto, before we go, Jonathan, what are the top 5 things you would want to see in this show from KristSingto?
You stay doing this to me.
I do.
every month, every 2 weeks, I make a list, y'all.
Yes.
Let's see. I wrote I want them to tell us the tea on why they broke up. That's
A
the
hundred
big thing. The
percent.
big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um I also want a gay beach frolic.
We'll probably get that because it's GMMTV. It's a Thai
Hmm.
show. They're gonna go to the beach at some point.
I know. These boys better have a beach weather moment.
Mm-hmm.
I want some flip flop bedroom
I
activities.
love to see a verse.
I want to see verse KristSingto. I want to see Singto Chris. I want to see all in the
You want to
between.
see Christo sing and sing Christo and toe
I
and
want to see
singing.
Chris's toes and sings. I
Doodle
don't know.
hole?
Anyway, yeah. I want some back-breaking, raw dogging. No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yes, you do.
We're not gonna get that. We're not gonna get that. But they are
We're
two grown
not. It's
men, so
GMMTV.
maybe it might get real spicy. I feel like because Sodas never got that level of spice.
Well, also it's
Um,
2016,
I
so
know,
there's
and they
only
were
so much they would do
babies.
back then.
Yeah, so
Um,
I want to see if they go that far to catch up to these new kids. To this fourth gen, fifth gen boys that are going crazy like in Heart Killers or Only Friends,
you know what? Even though it's GMMTV, I would be down to see a My Stubborn kind of moment.
Oh my god. Ooh, wait, hold on. Maybe I will too. Maybe I'll sign up for that. I'll sign up for that. Yeah.
hmm Yep,
If you
like
know, you know.
spontaneous, and
Spontaneous. Maybe we'll get a friends with benefits.
maybe
A co-workers with benefits, maybe.
right. And then
Very my stubborn,
one of
yeah.
and one of them would come in walking with the limp every day to work.
Anyway,
Yeah,
my
it
fifth
would
thing.
deflate the ego.
Ew. My fifth thing is I want them to say that they are actually gay in the show or queer. I don't want to. I don't. I'm not gay. I just love you kind of moment, because they were the pioneers of that in
That's
GMMTV.
true. They were.
Like it was very like Sodus and like, is there? Yeah, it was KristSingto Tainu that were all about the like, oh, I'm not gay. I just like you. Like I'm not into men. I'm just into you. I'm like, really, girl, please.
I think now that this is 2025, I'm hoping we don't see anything like that anymore. I'm hoping that they either just say they're gay or they say love is love and people love who they want,
Love is
whatever it may
love.
be.
I
You
mean, the way he
know,
turned down this woman's advances, well, it was already giving creeper, but
yeah, she was a little
I feel like
creepy.
maybe he was kind of like, "Girl, I'm gay, gay,
Yeah,
gay.
he's
I'm
like, no,
sorry, queen."
he was like, I'm strictly Dickly. Like
Mm-hmm.
you are strictly Dickly, I'm strictly Dickly.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah, yeah, she was a creep. With that said, you know what, we're gonna creep on out of here. That is it for this episode of RyCanTopMyKnee. Knee your ex so he can top you again.
Hey, not Neo Eds. Maybe we might get that. Maybe we gotta get that.
Maybe.
I hope the ride in your life tops the gay weatherman on Channel 3, y'all.
Bloop. Channel 3. Yes.
All right, goodbye.
Bye, y'all.